Happy Sunday. Happy Pentecost for those that understand. If you know, you know. Enjoying your weekend, hopefully. Welcome Aaron Spalding, Cool Kyle G, Deshaun Wilson. I hope you guys are safe and healthy and that you're enjoying your weekend and that your family's enjoying the weekend with you. Thank you, Yuri Art. You got that right. Curious Kev, how you doing, man? Um, I am here drinking some bone broth before I go get some food for me and my mama. Corey Lindsay, what's up? John Pettit, Eddie Battle, Flatbush Dre, Senior Beef, my man, Knicks fan for life, Severe Jorgensen. I hope you guys are all enjoying your weekend and that you're all safe and healthy and your family is also safe and healthy. So, Grand Rising, security, what's up, Lonnie? Security Master, what's up, man? Security Master, Clint Stewart, Ty Battle, Flatbush Drake, Brent Massive, how y'all doing? Black Les, my brother Malik Shabazz, and Kev, New York City resident, shalom to you. And Building Blocks, shalom to you. Brooklyn Buddha, Andre, what else we got? John Pettit, New York State of Mind. What's up, y'all? Let's see, remember anybody? I think I caught all y'all. So we're going to be on for about an hour, and we're going to be talking about the next Knicks coach, which I feel is going to be Jason Kidd, if Dallas grants New York permission to talk to him. And I'll tell you why I think they will. But it reminds me of when the Knicks hired Tom Thibodeau. That year, my first choice was Kenny Atkinson. And my second choice was Tom Thibodeau. And they ended up getting Tom Thibodeau. This year, my first choice is Ime Udoka. And my second choice is Jalen Brunson. My choices, my draft board in terms of coaches is Udoka, Kidd, Jenkins, and then Johnny Bryant. It's Udoka, Kidd, Jenkins, and Johnny Bryant. Some of y'all still ain't got the memo. This can't be no gimmick. We're not hiring no college coach to be the head coach. So please stop with the Jay Wrights and whoever, Hurleys and whoever the hell else that's in college. We don't need no college coaches. We need NBA coaches with NBA experience. Okay. So we don't need no college coaches. That's forget them. So if people like gimmicks, they try to use the Knicks as some sort of gimmick. No, that's a gimmick. We need somebody that's been in the league. The league is not college, and that knows how the league operates and how the players are in the league as opposed to college. The thing is, Rick Brunson has no head coaching experience. Let me say it again. We don't want anyone that has no NBA head coaching experience. We don't need no rookie. Okay. So no, that would eliminate Rick Brunson. Right. No. I think I could speak for the majority of knowledgeable Knick Nation that none of us in Knick Nation would have a problem with Mark Jackson being the head coach. But again, let's leave the realm of fantasy and look in the realm of reality. I think we can agree Mark Jackson has been blackballed. Y'all understand that? Can y'all see that? It ain't the first time we've seen somebody be blackballed in the NBA. If you go back far enough, you can see a lot of dudes been blackballed. Connie Hawkins was blackballed in the NBA. Okay. Michael Ray Richardson for drugs was blackballed. Mitchell Wiggins, Sprewell, Latrell Sprewell. A lot of dudes been blackballed. Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf was blackballed. They don't make it generally, like if it's a drug situation like with Mitchell Wiggins or Michael Ray Richardson, they'll make an announcement. They'll call it suspended or indefinitely suspended or something like that. And that's how that'll work. But usually when they go to blackball a brother, and it's almost always a brother. I have never seen a Caucasian man blackballed. Have y'all? I've never seen a Caucasian man blackballed in the NBA. I've seen a Caucasian man blackballed in baseball, Pete Rose, but not in the NBA. So it's always a brother. So and when they go to do it, it's like Mahmoud Abdul Rauf, the formerly called Chris Jackson. When he was blackballed, nobody made a declaration that he was blackballed, but he obviously was blackballed. It's the same with Mark Jackson. He has a 54-win season of a Golden State team that he helped build from the ground up. That was really a laughing stock of the NBA for a number of years. And then all of a sudden, he gets 54 wins and they're on the uptick. You got a young Thompson, a young Curry, you got Draymond, and you're on the uptick, and then he gets fired. And there was never an explanation why he got fired. At the time, he was a very outspoken pastor of a church in the San Francisco, Oakland area. He was outspoken in many controversial subjects. One of the biggest ones was the alphabet soup part of the earth. He was not with alphabet soup. And it is speculated that's why he got blackballed. That's why he got fired, because apparently there may have been somebody that was pro-alphabet soup in the Golden State organization. And so he was fired. And then since then, he has not gotten any heavy NBA coaching jobs, which you could see it's a blackball. I could see if he had, like, for example, there's very few college coaches that are successful in the NBA. It has happened. Brad Stevens is the one that comes to mind. Brad Stevens was a college coach, and then he came to the NBA, and he was pretty successful. They did not win a championship with him as the head coach, but he was pretty successful. Okay, but usually it's a disaster. Usually, PJ Carlesimo comes to mind with the rightful choking of his ass by my man Sprewell. Carlesimo had it coming. He thought he was everybody that's black's daddy, and Sprewell told him, "No, you ain't," and actually demonstrated to him. Then there was Calipari, very successful, one of the most successful college coaches in history of basketball. Came to the Nets and was a disaster. Okay, it has happened multiple times. Now, Rick Pitino was one of the few bright spots, but he didn't last long because the NBA, it's a tough place, So he was in New York for about maybe one season, maybe two, and he was successful. And he come from Providence at that time. He was successful. And then he also went to the Celtics and was totally a flop. Tried to bring all his Kentucky boys to Boston, and it didn't work out at all. See, so most of the time it's totally unsuccessful because the NBA is not the NCAA. The NCAA is college. The and the NBA is the league. And there's two different scenarios, two different dynamics. You cannot translate. It's not the same thing. Okay. So very rarely does a college coach, no matter how successful they were, come along and is successful in the NBA. Not only that, I wish people would please think the head coach of the New York Knicks has the toughest job in the NBA. And there's some tough jobs out there. Boston fans could be crazy. The Bulls fans could be crazy. The Laker fans could be crazy. But there is no place where between media and fandom, there's more pressure on a coach than in New York. Yeah, Philly fans could be crazy, but none of them are like New York. New York's the toughest one. So people that are out here talking about college coaches, not only are you asking the Knicks to hire a coach with no NBA experience, you're asking him to hire a coach in the most precious situation in the NBA, period. Okay? That's why I always supported Tom Thibodeau. It's tough enough to coach here, but all these dumbasses thinking they know his job better than him, and he's under the microscope. In New York, you get over-analyzed. If the fans were managers, you call them micromanagers because that's how they handle their coaches in New York. Okay, so you got to have a guy that with a tough skin. He's got to been here before. Cool K, thanks for the $5. What was the reason Mark doesn't pull from calling this game? I don't know why. I don't know why. I really don't. I don't know why. And they ended up going with Jamal Crawford, if I'm not, and he did a good job too. But they ended up going with Jamal Crawford, right? Cool College. I think they ended up going with Jamal Crawford when Clyde wasn't going on the road with them. Now, please also remember, whoever the New York Knicks coaches this year is going to face more pressure than Tom Thibodeau faced. When Tom Thibodeau was the coach of the Knicks 5 years ago, the Knicks hadn't won a playoff series in 10 years or something like that. So it wasn't as much pressure on him. And then so he, and of course we know 4 out of his 5 seasons, the Knicks were in the playoff, and then they won 2 series this year. So next coach, though, is expected. The Eastern Conference Finals is the minimum expectation. They're really expected to get into the finals. So the next coach that comes on the Knicks is going to have a lot of pressure on them. So and this is the thing. You can't have no David Fizdales that ain't got no game. David Fizdale ain't got no game. What do I mean by that? At least Tom Thibodeau, this is his game. Defense, rebounding. That's his game. That's his calling card. You know that coming in. Veterans. That's his game. That's what he does. Okay. So you may not like it, but that's his game plan. At least he got a game. He got a rap. He know what he's doing, right? Well, you can't have somebody with Fizdale know what the hell he's doing and bring an axe one day and then changing the lineup 20 times, no. You got to have a guy that knows what the hell he's doing. He's got to have been in the league. It'd be good if he's been in New York before. Okay. So Ime Udoka, he got to have a presence. Some people ask about a guy like, Cassell, Sam Cassell. Somebody said, why not Sam Cassell? Let me tell you why not. Sam Cassell is a very intelligent man, very great basketball mind, but he is not the commanding presence you need to face the New York media. You hear what I'm saying? If you ever hear Sam Cassell, very articulate, very basketball wise, but the New York media is unlike any other media. Ain't no Philly, ain't no Boston, ain't no Chicago. There's no media that come at you looking to trap you like New York. So Sam Cassell don't have that presence. Tom Thibodeau did. Like, let me ask y'all a question. Even if you hated Tom Thibodeau, can we agree the media never intimidated Tom Thibodeau? You never got the feeling that Tom Thibodeau was overwhelmed by any question the media brought at him. You hear what I'm saying? He never was overwhelmed. Ime Udoka, you ain't going to overwhelm him. He might intimidate you, right? Ime Udoka, imagine when he's in the media, he might intimidate one of these little dumbasses with these dumbass questions. He might intimidate. So that's what I'm saying. You need a guy with a presence. Okay, so let's talk about this. You need a guy that knows basketball, not a rookie, that's been in the league coaching, that knows how to handle pro players, that has a game plan, that has a style, that has a commanding presence that will not be intimidated by media or fans. Because listen, first 2-game losing streak, you're going to have half the fans calling for whoever it is to be fired. First 2-game losing streak. Okay. So a guy's got to be tough. He got to be able to ignore that. He's got to be able to focus on his team. I like Tiz because he could do that. Now, you may not like his decision making, but he made his decision for his team the way he wanted to. You got to have a guy that stands like that. Strong. That's what I'm saying. Got to be strong. Okay. Can't come in here weak. New York will test you. Y'all will, and all of y'all know, y'all will test the dude. Your Twitter go nuts. Y'all will test them. Then you got all of these other media types like Brian Wimberg and Stephen A. Smith. They will test the brother. So somebody need to be able to stand strong. Ime Udoka would do that. But, yeah, you're right, Don Petty. But Houston ain't going to let that brother go. Ain't no way. Houston ain't going to let him go. They had a lot of success this year in Houston. He put that team together. They was tough as hell. Yeah, they was good, man. I think they finished, if I'm not mistaken, did not Houston finish second in the West behind Oklahoma City? If I'm not mistaken. Now they lost in the first round, I believe, but I think they finished second in the West. Let me just double check. I think they did. And yep, Houston finished second in the West. That's right. Oklahoma City ran away with the rest. Then it was Houston. So Houston, they're good. They're not going to let their coach. There is no way in hell they're going to let Ime Udoka talk to anybody. They're not going to do it. It ain't happening, okay? So that's that. That brings us to Jason Kidd. Why do I like Jason Kidd? Number one, Jason Kidd has both played and coached in New York. He coached Brooklyn, and they had high expectations, if you recall. Brooklyn went and traded all their picks for some has-beens, and they expected championships. And they had Jason Kidd there, and he did good. But he left to go coach Giannis in Milwaukee. Milwaukee needed a head coach, and Giannis was there. MVP level Giannis, defensive player of the year Giannis. Kid said, peace out. And he went to Milwaukee and stayed there. And Giannis and him got along. There was some shakiness when they let go of Jason Kidd. In fact, I don't even know why they let go of Jason Kidd. I can't tell you that. But I know there was a lot of vibes that were negative vibes. Hi, Miss Edwards. There was some negative vibes about letting Jason Kidd walk. Budenholzer came in behind him. That's when they won the championship. Shalom, Organic Fanatic Show. What's up, man? And so Jason Kidd has coached Brunson before. And let me tell you something else. If you look at Jason Kidd's coaching history. Now, Jason Kidd, we talked about, he played his last year in the league, he played for the Knicks, 54-win season. That was him way past his prime, and he was really good even then. And then he coached the Nets. Then he coached Milwaukee. I believe he coached one of the teams in California. I forgot which one, but he was a head coach out there somewhere. And then he came to Dallas. Okay. Now, there's certain guys he carries with him. You know, every coach has their dudes, right? Part of their crew. You know who Jason Kidd always carries with him? Every place he goes? A guy named God Shamgod. How many of y'all know who God Shamgod is? I could say was, but it. God Shamgod is one of the greatest street ballers in the history of New York City. And he apparently has a lot of respect around the league for developing guards. Okay. Yeah, God Shamgod. Now, Jason Kidd always have God Shamgod with him. Sometimes he had Darryl Armstrong with him. Now, why is that important? Right now, we talked about the copycat league. Right? It's a copycat league. Okay, so let's talk about the two teams that are in the finals. We already stated, obviously, both of those teams run 10 deep. 10 solid, 10 deep. Okay, both of those teams run solid 10 deep, but there's more. There's more. Not only does both the Indiana Pacers and the Oklahoma City Thunder go 10 deep, but both teams run 4 guards, 4 in their rotation. Okay, both teams run 4 guards in their rotation. And what you're seeing both teams, listen, if this sounds familiar, both teams run 4 guards in their rotation, and they like to play sets with the guards with a rim protecting center. So they have the rim protector out there and 4 guards. Does that sound familiar to you? So you're going to have and I'm going to guarantee you something. The Knicks are going to go 10 deep next year. They're going to go 10 deep. And they're going to have 4 guards that are going to play with Mitchell Robinson or Cat. Okay. So they're going to run 10 deep. Now, there's some question marks, but it's nothing to do with the coach. Oh, well, it does. Like, I would like to see the Knicks retain Precious Achiuwa. How would they do that? Right now, the Knicks are $8 million space in the second apron. If they renounce PJ Tucker, they could go to $12 million. So in other words, if PJ Tucker is left to walk, the Knicks will have about $11-12 million in second apron space. Okay, $11-12 million, somewhere in that range. I think you could get Precious Achiuwa for 3 years, $25 million. I think you can get him for that. Now, if you can get him for that, you're still under the second apron. Okay. So you will have, and this is the thing with the 10 deep rotation in both of the championship level teams that are in the finals right now, which also applies to the Knicks. They can mix and match with their 10 guys, right? So you have guys that could come off the bench, right, for either team. You got like guys that could come off the bench, like Ben Shepherd for Indiana or TJ McConnell, right? If you need them to, they can also start. So you can mix and match them with different lineups, and you can still start them if somebody's hurt. You can start Ben Shepherd if you need to. You can start TJ McConnell if you need to. And it's the same thing with Oklahoma City. Oklahoma City has a situation where they run 10 deep, and I mean 10 legit 10 players in their rotation. You can start Isaiah Joe or Alex Caruso, or you can start Aaron Wiggins if you need to. You can start Isaiah Hartenstein, and that's their bench. And so the Knicks will have a very similar situation. You have your starting five or your presumed starting four. Put it this way: we know it will be Cat, Jalen Brunson, it will be McCall and OG. Okay. Now, whether it's going to be Deuce, whether it's going to be Mitch Rob, it really doesn't matter because you could have both of them at different times. You might start Deuce some games. You might start Mitch Rob some games. You could also start, as we saw, you could also start DeLon Wright if you need to. You could also start Landry Shamet if you need to. And as we already mentioned, if you re-sign Precious Achiuwa, and I don't know if they're going to, I hope they do, because I find Precious with a lot of upside. If you can start Precious if you need to. So you got a lot of options of mixing and matching. And the reason that's really good, as we should know by now, is because it keeps your players fresh and it's difficult to game plan against. If you don't know who's going to be starting, it's difficult to game plan for them. Okay. So this is, that's where we're going to, that's not true, Ms. Edwards. I'm sorry, Ms. Edwards. I have to disagree with you sharply. Jason Kidd and Tom Thibodeau are two completely different coaches. Completely different. Tibbs is more tough-minded. Jason Kidd is more cerebral. Completely different. They're not even in the same universe. Tibbs is very tough-minded. He brings that vibe to his team. Kidd is more IQ, more cerebral about the game. And Kidd is able to bring sets where the game is spread out. He did that with Jalen Brunson when Brunson was last year in Dallas. So he's more cerebral about the game. So no, this is not Tibbs at all. Not at all. This is a completely different guy. Not only that, he's similar to Tibbs in this regard, though. Every place he has gone, he has won. He had one losing season. I think it was with Dallas. He had one losing season, just like Tibbs. Every place he goes, he ends up winning. He's haven't gotten over the big one. Now, here's another one. Cooper Flagg is going to be a rookie. Do y'all think Cooper Flagg is going to help them go to the championship in his rookie year? I'm going to guarantee you, no. No, he won't. Okay? He's going to be really good, but they ain't going nowhere. And if you're depending on Anthony Ambulance to carry you to the chip, you wouldn't be the first one to try that. It was tried in New Orleans. It was tried in LA and then Dallas. Now, LA won the chip, but we all know that was the asterisk COVID shortened bubble season. Okay. So that was kind of, okay, whatever. But if you asking Anthony Ambulance to get you to the 82-game season and win a chip, I don't know. I don't know about that. So you're talking to Jason Kidd. He has played in New York. He has coached in Brooklyn. He gets Jalen Brunson. He gets Karl Anthony Towns. He gets OG Anunoby and Mitchell Robinson. I bet you he licking his chops to come to New York. I bet you he licking his chops. That's why I say, if Dallas gives the permission, he's going to be a New York Knicks coach. There's no doubt. Right. So now, and then your front office traded Luka Doncic. The kid ain't had no input in that. You trade Luka Doncic. I don't know about that. I don't know. Oh, let me put these. All right. I don't know why y'all fall for this. Stop being suckers. The Knicks are not getting Kevin Durant. Could we stop listening to the clickbait? Y'all know it's, wait, do y'all know it's clickbait season right now? Do you understand that it's clickbait season? Do you understand that? Do you understand it's clickbait season? It's clickbait season. What does that mean? People are trying to get your attention with bullcrap. KD ain't coming to New York. He is not coming to New York. Okay? Giannis ain't coming to New York. Giannis Antetokounmpo is not going to be walking through that door. Okay? It's not coming. It's not happening. Okay? First of all, and then who was it just talked about Al Horford? Ms. Edwards? And somebody asked me about Jrue Holiday. Do y'all know how much Jrue Holiday would cost? We're talking about the Knicks team was $8 million in second apron space. Why would you even mention a $35 million player? I don't understand it. Why would you even mention it? And somebody mentioned, well, he's good off the bench. Are you crazy? Like, do you understand how much that's going to cost? And you talking about a bench piece? And let's take a look at Al Horford. How much does he get? How much money is Al Horford getting? Let's take a look at that. How much money is old Al Horford getting? What is his situation, man? Let me see. Horford. This should be easy to find out. Let's do. We got to just click age and get the highest age. It's gonna be him. All right. So Al Horford is $9.5 million. Remember, we're a team with an $8 million space that could go to 11. So you're gonna spend that space on Al Horford? Yeah, Isaac Levy. So you say, because I said Tibbs ain't getting fired, and here we are. What are you trying to say? I don't know what I'm talking about. What the hell are you trying to say? What is your point in bringing that up? So I was wrong once. What does that mean? So what? That's what I'm asking. Yeah, so what? That's all I'm saying. I also said they should draft Deuce McBride. They did. I also said they should go trade for OG Anunoby. They did. I also said a year before they should get Cat. They did. You want to bring receipts? Don't come to me with that. Don't do it. So, yeah, I said they wouldn't fire Tibbs. They did. So what? No. Motherfucker, Al Horford. We good. Okay? We good. And listen, let me ask y'all a question. Was not the whole NBA shocked that the Knicks fired Tom Thibodeau? Was not the whole NBA shocked? Was not your Stephen A. Stupids and everybody, even like, what's that dude named Kendrick Perkins? Was not everybody shocked? So what the hell? If I said they not firing him and they did, why is that some sort of problem? Ugh. Anyway, I'm saying if they don't get Ime, which I don't think they're going to get Jason Kidd. If Dallas agrees to allow the Knicks to talk to Jason Kidd, we should find out about that in the next couple of days, I think. I know that they're having discussions behind the scenes. Yeah, I think it's going to be Jason Kidd, Yuri Ark. I think Jason Kidd's going to be the next head coach. If Dallas says you can talk to him, peace out, Dallas. It's going to be Jason Kidd. Okay? It's going to be Jason Kidd. So he's going to have a lot of pressure on him. Now, if you're Jason Kidd, Jason Kidd just signed, I think he just signed a 2-year extension with Dallas. So the Knicks going to have to compensate Dallas. We're talking about second round picks. That's usually the case in these scenarios, second round picks. I don't know how many Knicks have. I don't know how many second round picks they have, but you're going to be talking about second round picks. Yeah, Guilford, where'd you hear that from? What is your source of information, my brother? Talk to me. Where did you hear that? Because I didn't hear that. Dio, thanks for the $5. Thoughts on option that Kid played too much ISO with Luka, Irving, poor ball movement, didn't trust the players bench enough. Sounds like BS to me, Dio. Let me see what else. Keith Blocker. I believe that. Thanks for the $5. I believe the Knicks, if they hire Jason Kidd, will go back to the Eastern Conference Finals. Me too, Keith Blocker. I think so too. I think they could go back to the ECF. And this is the thing. There's at least 3 coaches in the possible. If I could say, if I'm playing spades, I got 3 in the possible that could get the Knicks back to the ECF. Ime Udoka, Jason Kidd, and Taylor Jenkins. I think any of those guys can get the Knicks back. And then the possible would be, of course, Johnny Bryant, which I'm not in favor of. And the reason I'm not is because he's never coached in the NBA before, and I don't want the Knicks to, break and pop him. I don't want the Knicks to be his virgin guy. No, I don't want that. I want the Knicks to get somebody that can that knows what they're doing. So, yeah, I think one of those 3 cats, if they get chosen, can bring the Knicks back. And all of them are very strong dudes, both spirit, vibe, know the game, play defense, rebound, tough. Well, if they get Johnny, they get Johnny. I just don't like the idea because he's never coached in the NBA before as a head coach. The Knicks would be his first stop. And you're talking about now, if this was the Knicks 5 years ago, okay. But we're talking about a team that's prepared for the championship. We're built. The window is open right now. The window is open. So I don't know if I want to trust that to a guy that's never been a head coach in New York before. Okay. What proof do you have that he's terrific? See, you make a statement. I'm going to catch that. AC said he's terrific, though. Okay, what proof? What's his coaching record that you know he's terrific? He might be a terrific assistant, but we have no idea about him as a head coach. We have no idea. He could fall on his face. Okay, we don't know. Now, whoever the Don hires, I'm going to be behind him, just like I was with Tibbs. Whoever the Don hires, I'm going to be behind him. Okay, so I'm going to be supporting. If it's Johnny Bryant, I'm going to be with Johnny Bryant if he's coaching the orange and blue. Yeah. But the other 3 guys have records, have styles that have been shown in the league and have dealt with adversity in the league. So, yeah, that's what I'm saying, Severe Jorgensen. Why would he? I don't know why everybody thinks because Cooper Flag is coming there. Jason Kidd wanted to stay there. We ain't talking about, 5-time MVP. This is going to be a rookie. And I think Cooper Flag, as good as he's probably going to be, I think Victor is more impressive. Like if it was Victor Wembanyama, I might say, "Oh, okay, he's gonna coach Victor Wembanyama." But nah, I ain't having that. Cooper Flag is probably gonna be really good. I'm not gonna say, but let me tell you something. He gonna have his hands full in the league. This is the league. You know what I mean? I don't want to say he's not, because I was wrong about another white boy. I was totally wrong about Denny Avdiva. I thought Denny Avdiva was gonna be G League. There's no way. I said to draft him in the top 10. I said somebody's crazy, but he is much better than I gave him credit for. Denny Avdiva could ball. I didn't realize it, but I was wrong about him. So I definitely, people were wanting the Knicks to pick him. I definitely didn't want that. And I'm glad they didn't, but I didn't think he was going to be all that. But he's good, man. So I've been wrong about dudes before. Cooper Flag, I don't want to put a cap on him. He reminds me of, what's the boy, Franz Wagner. I was wrong about Franz Wagner. And Cooper Flag gives me the same vibe as Franz Wagner. I thought Franz Wagner was a pro. I didn't think he was a lottery pick. There's some guys that are, they should be in the league. Franz Wagner, I thought he should be in the league, but pick 8, I was like, nah, I don't think so. I would not pick Rajon Rondo as a head coach. Why wouldn't I pick Rajon Rondo as a head coach? Talk to me about Rondo's negatives. What negatives would Rondo bring to the Knicks that would cause him? Yeah, he's a freaking headache. If you ain't seen his career, he had got run out of several organizations. He was run out of Dallas. He was run out of Boston. He was run out of Sacramento. And because he think he know everything. Now, apparently, from what I read, he does have a high IQ, but he has very little patience for anybody that doesn't agree with him. Y'all thought Tibbs was tough? You don't want nothing to do with Rondo. No. You better go think about that one again. You better go think about that one again. I'm sorry. When did Stackhouse coach in the NBA? I know he coached in the G League, but when was he a head coach in the NBA? What was his record? Again, don't just throw names out there. We're not throwing spaghetti against the wall and seeing what sticks. Bring me somebody legitimate, please. When did Stackhouse coach in the NBA? That's my question. What was his coaching record? He coached in the G League. When did he coach in the NBA? Why do you keep bringing me people that's never coached in the NBA? All right, let me tell you something about Van Gundy. His time is past. And y'all are tripping about Tibbs, talking about Tibbs is not in the modern era. What the hell you think Jeff Van Gundy is? Come on, man. Come on, y'all. Come on, stop. Y'all gotta stop, man. Come on, man. Y'all, what is it with y'all, man? Y'all just throw names against the wall like somebody pissing the wall. I mean, what the hell? Stackhouse, Rondo, anybody. And then 5 minutes later, fire him. I need you to fire him. I mean, oh my God, man. Listen, what's today? Today is Sunday, June the 8th, right? Right? Sunday, June the 8th, 2025. Right? Look here. Once this day is passed, it will never come back. There's only going to be one June 8th, 2025 in history. It will never come back. Jeff Van Gundy's time was when it was. It will never come back. You can never go back. You can go forward, but you can never go back. Once you understand that, you will appreciate the present. Jeff Van Gundy is past. His time is past. You can't go back. That magic is not going to come back. Okay? His time is past. So, no. Okay? And why would you mention Eric Spoelstra? I believe he's the head coach of the Miami Heat. Did he get fired? Did Pat Riley fire Eric Spoelstra and I didn't know it? Why would you mention Eric Spoelstra? Ray Floyd, have you been paying attention? Come on, my man. Come on. Wake up now. Come on, bro. Have you been paying attention? You ready? Mike Malone is out. Ian Begley already said Mike Malone is out. So forget Mike Malone. He's out. You ready? Y'all listening? You ready? Draft board. Raw Hebrew coaching draft board. Are you ready? Raw Hebrew coaching draft board. I'll give it to you right now. You ready? All right. Number one on my list, the number one draft pick, Ime Udoka. The number two on my board, Jason Kidd. Number three on my board, Taylor Jenkins. Number four on my board, and that's all I got is four, Johnny Bryant. Okay? Ime Udoka, Jason Kidd, Taylor Jenkins, Johnny Bryant. In that order. That's my draft board. That's my draft board right there. In that order. Okay? I don't think we're going to get a chance to even talk to Ime Udoka if If I'm Houston, that ain't happening. Okay, y'all know y'all can't sniff him. Y'all can't call him. If you call him, reporting you to the NBA, you can't talk to him. He's under contract with us. We ain't letting him go. That's how Houston's probably gonna handle this situation. I would if I was Houston. But so that leaves Jason Kidd. Now, if you're Jason Kidd, okay, a year ago you had a team that went to the finals led by Luka Doncic. You had young players. You had Kyrie Irving. You had a young Quentin Grimes. And this year, you don't have any. You got Anthony Ambulance Davis. You got Kyrie coming back. What injury was that Kyrie had? What was that? Was that a ACL? Kyrie? Did he heard it? Was it the ACL? I think it was, wasn't it? I think Irving suffered an ACL tear, if I'm not mistaken. I just want to double check and make sure that's the case. Did Kyrie have an ACL tear? Let's see. Optimistic Irving could return the start of January. So you don't even have Kyrie until mid-season next year. And you traded Luka Doncic, one of the most talented players to come out of Europe ever, out of Europe. And so if I'm Jason Kidd, do I trust this management? Come on, y'all. If you Jason Kidd, do you trust the Dallas management? Do you trust their management at all? Do you have any trust in that management that they're going to make the right decision? Okay. So no, that ain't going to work. No, that ain't going to work. That ain't going to work. So if Dallas, and so if I'm Kidd's agent, I'm demanding you give my man a chance to leave. Okay. I'm demanding you give my man a chance to leave. Okay. No AC. And this is the thing. AC, if you don't have proof of what you're saying, all you're doing is gossiping like a gossiping woman in a hair salon. Don't do it. Stop gossiping. It was the Don's decision to let Tibbs go. If the Don decided to keep him, he would be here. Dolan is on board with whatever the Don decides. Dolan is on board with it. So the Don said, we're going to give Tibbs another year, he'd still be the coach. So don't blame it on Dolan. It's not Dolan. It's Leon Rose. He made the decision. And I don't know, if y'all read any news at all from Ian Begley, you would see that that's the case. Okay? I think Kevin Bergen, I think you are correct in that I think they have identified who they want to hire. I don't think the hire is set, though. You hear what I'm saying, Kevin? Kevon Bergen? I think they have identified who they want to hire. I think it's Jason Kidd. But I don't think they've made a deal yet. I don't think they made a deal yet. Yeah, I don't think they made a deal yet. I think the guy is Jason Kidd. They just haven't made the deal yet. They can't talk about it until the deal is made, right? So we'll find out. Yeah. So, So anyway, yeah, I would love Ime Udoka, but I think we're gonna get Jason Kidd, and I'm gonna be pulling for the brother. He's got a tough job, no doubt, but I think the talent that we have on the Knicks is such that that would be something else, man. That'll be tremendous. Yeah, right. Coach Hauser. I think I'm agreeing with you. I think World Wide West, and that's the dude that does stuff like that. Behind back channels, getting everybody's vibe, getting the temperature of what's happening, and knowing what we could do. Okay. Far-fetched, John Petty. That's some things are too far-fetched and too far out to try to talk about. I have no idea if Dallas is going to move to Vegas, if they want to, what are they doing? Just like there are people saying they want to hire Jason Kidd to try to lure Giannis. That would be stupid. Don't y'all remember when they tried to make moves to lure LeBron James here? Didn't work out that way. We ended up with $100 million guy with two bad knees. So no. I don't think Kidd's a smoke screen. The Knicks don't play that. I don't think so. I don't think Kidd's a smoke screen. Things are only messy, and this is the thing, y'all. Things are not messy in the office of Leon Rose. Things are only messy in the world of Twitter. So I can tell if you don't have enough sense to think straight by what you're saying. If you think that the Knicks are messy, it's because you're listening to Twitter. Guys like Brian Windbag, Stephen A. Stupid. You're listening to NBA Central. I could tell. And that tells me you have no idea how to think on yourself. You have no idea how to even make a logical determination of anything because you're just copying what you say. There's no ever confusion in Leon Rose's office. He never gives his plans away. You don't even know what he's planning on doing because he don't let nobody. The media is upset because of that, and I love to get Stephen A. Stupid upset. I love that. Let him be very mad because the Don ain't letting his game go. He's going to keep it close to the vest. So is Worldwide West. So is everybody in that front office. Okay? They're not letting it happen. So you want to hear what's going on, listen to Ian Begley. He gets inside scoop on the Knicks. And then, of course, especially in these situations, he gets inside scoop on the Knicks. So anybody talking about this is a mess or the Knicks can't make a decision or they're trying to get Giannis, y'all are showing yourselves to be very stupid because you're listening to the wrong people. And this is the thing. I've seen NBA Central post rumors for the last 3 years. And I'd say a good solid 80% of the time they're full of crap. And yet people still regurgitate what they say. To me, once you have proven to be stupid, I don't want to listen to you no more. I don't want to listen to you because you're proven to be just a gossip columnist. You're just Ann Landers with a basketball content. Okay? That's all. Ann Landers with a basketball content. That's it. That's NBA Central. That's Brian Windbag. That's Bill Simmons. That's all of them. See? So don't listen to gossip. This ain't the morning. What's them stupid paper name? The Star Ledger or whatever the hell. Yeah, man. We trying to, come on, man. And some of y'all, like somebody talk about we need to go get bench help. And I'm like, why are you dissing your bench? And they said, well, we need to go get somebody because we need a backup center. I said, why are you dissing Hoop Porty? See, that's what I'm saying. You can't go get somebody without dissing somebody. To me, Hoop Porty's good enough, especially he got to show out this summer. But I'm confident in the young man that I feel like he's going to be behind Mitchell Robinson. Wherever Mitchell Robinson is, Hoop Porty be behind him. And I don't need nobody. I don't need Al Horford. I got Hoop Porty. I'm good with that. Okay? Don't be dissing your own players because you think the grass is green on the other side because Brian Windbag told you that. Okay? We good. We just need to have everybody come to camp healthy. That's it. Can we get Mitch Rob to come to camp healthy? Can Cat get his knee straightened out so he can come to camp healthy? That's what we need, y'all. That's what we need. Okay. So you just run it back and quit tripping with all these people that thinking the green grass is always. Wait, Ray Floyd, are you a Knicks fan? Seriously, I'm asking the question. Ray Floyd, are you a Knicks fan? Are you a Knicks fan? Are you a Knicks fan? Because he's asking, so this is a championship team. He must not be a Knicks fan. What the hell do you think this channel is about? Is this a championship team? What the hell? Wait. Let's ask a question. Hell yeah, this is a championship team. How wrong with you? Look. Can we agree? If you win 2 7-game series, that means that at least 2 teams you're better than. So in other words, the Knicks won a 7-game series against the Detroit Pistons. The Knicks won a 7-game series against the Boston Celtics. So the Knicks were in the Eastern Conference Finals. Officially, this means they were one of the 4 best teams in the NBA. Wait a minute. This is not guesswork. We're not even talking opinion. If you're in the final 4 of the NBA playoffs, that means you're one of the 4 best teams in the NBA. And let's take it a step further. Somebody said, well, the Pacers are better than the Knicks. Yes, this year they are. They just beat the Knicks in the 7-game series. They're better than the Knicks. Does that mean they'll be better next year? No, it doesn't mean that. But this year, they are. The Pacers and Oklahoma City are the two best teams in the NBA. Ray Floyd, I know what your question was. Did everybody else hear me say yes except you? So, yes, the Knicks are a championship team. The moment they got, and I said this before they got Cat, the moment they got Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby, and Precious Achua, and they traded RJ Barrett, Emmanuel Quickly, when they traded those two guys, the moment that happened, it was championship mode. That was before they got Cat. It was championship mode. Okay. Championship windows open. That was last year. Okay. Now, when they got Cat, it's open. Period. So they're in the championship mode right now. Okay. What does that mean? Let me explain. Let me elaborate. That means that going into the 25-26 season, there is no question. There is 0% chance that the Knicks do not make the playoffs. They're going to make the playoffs. Number one. They're probably going to be top 4 in the East, minimum. Number two, which makes them a threat for the championship. Okay? So the fact is, they're now in championship mode, which means, like I said, everybody comes to camp healthy. They're top 4 in the East. They're 50 wins. They could be top 3. That's right. They could be top 3. That's right. Okay. So that is a given. We're now in championship mode with this team right now, championship mode. Now, one thing about Jason Kidd, if you've watched, any of y'all watched any of the Dallas games? Did y'all? I'm saying, because I watched some of the Dallas games when, even when they had Jalen Brunson, I was watching Dallas games. But if you watched Dallas and if you watched Milwaukee when Jason Kidd was there, Jason Kidd is really good at coaching ball movement and spacing. Anybody else can testify? Because I can bear witness. He is very good at coaching spacing and ball movement. Very good. Very good. Okay. I don't really know his defensive philosophy, but I do know that Dallas, when they went to the finals, played some hellified defense. Now, with Derek Lively was a rookie that year. And I didn't think that he could get that out of a rookie center. Derek Lively was a rookie. They went to the final and they were getting stops. They played hellified defense that year. Okay. So I don't know. I didn't pay attention to his defensive philosophy. I did pay attention that his team gets stops. Okay. His team does get stops. And he does know how to keep the floor spread. He does know how to spread the floor. So he would be a good choice. Yeah. Yeah. So we'll see. Mello 2287. What does development look like on a championship team? So we agree the Knicks are in championship mode. Do you think they can go to the finals depending on Tyler Kolek? Testing. If the Knicks depended on Tyler Kolek because they want to develop, can they get to the finals like that? Can the Knicks get to the finals if they play Daddier as a major player in their rotation this year? Can they get to the finals? I'm asking the question because everybody's talking about developed players and don't know what the hell NBA development looks like. It's happening right in front of you and you don't know it. It's happening right in front of you and you can't see it. Okay? Because the guy on your poster wall isn't playing. Well, this is the thing, DJ Dax. Let me ask you all a question. Do you know Tibbs has security? Don't you know that? Do you know how much Tibbs security is worth? I'm just wondering what you all looking at because I thought I made assumptions that y'all would know certain things and y'all don't. How much is Tibbs coaching security worth? Let me ask, how much? Come on now. How much is Tibbs coaching security worth? I asked the question. And you still ain't answered me. Oh, $30 million. Thank you, Eric Velasquez. So if you're a coach and you have to come to New York, and if you flop in your first year, you're going to get fired. But you got to guarantee $30 million over the next 3 years. Is that enough security for you? That's all I'm asking. So this person was talking about security, right? So I'm saying, if you're a coach and you want to come to New York, but if you flop, you might get fired, but you got 3 years, 30 million guaranteed. Would you take the job? All I'm asking, would you take the job? Mike Miller, what do you think? Sister Love Blue, welcome. What do you think? Lonnie, what do you think? So if I said, you got to take the Knicks job, and if you don't win a championship this year, we're firing you. Okay, what's my guarantee? Oh, I got 3 years, 30 million guaranteed. Okay, I'll take the job. So some of y'all asked the most stupidest questions I ever heard in my life. I mean, oh my God. Oh, that's what I'm saying, Mike Miller. That's exactly what I'm saying. So yes, Tom Thibodeau is fired, and I wouldn't be coaching right now. Why? Give me my margarita and pass my 30 million. I'm good. Oh my gosh, man. Anyway, okay. So I don't think security is going to be a problem with James Dolan in New York. Just my assessment, but I don't think James Dolan is worried about money. I mean, this is a guy that fired Phil Jackson and still had to pay him $60 million. And they just fired Tom Thibodeau and still have to pay him $30 million. I don't think cutting a check is going to be a problem. What do y'all think? I don't think cutting a check is a problem at MSG. What do y'all think? I don't think so. And if I'm Jason Kidd, I need at least three years. I need at least 3 guaranteed years. I really would rather have a 5-year if I'm Jason Kidd. I mean, in other words, I'm going to look at Jalen Brunson and say, okay, how old is he? All right, give me at least 4 years. That's what I'm doing. Give me at least 4 years. DJ Dax. Now, this is why I call people like you idiots. What logic the hell are you talking about? And what makes a coach lame duck? There's no lame duck coach except in your pea brain. Ain't no lame duck. What lame duck are you talking about? No, you know what I'm going to knock off? You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to knock something off. I am. I'm going to knock something off right now. I am. You're a third rep. You just won the argument. Who is the biggest idiot in the room? You won. You won. Who's the jerk that's going to jump into the third round? You won. You win the prize, bro. Biggest idiot of the day. You win the prize. Fool talking about logic. Fool talking about logic. Guilford McCormick. Fool talking about logic. Dio, come on, man. You know what I'm saying, right? Fool coming here talking about what kind of logic is that? We get some winners in Knicks Nation. I'm going to tell you, we get some winners. That guy won the prize. He won the prize. He actually made it to the third ring. He did. He did make it there. Well, this is the thing, Margaret Edwards. You bring up a good point. She said if the Knicks get Bryant and he gets 3 years and he wins a championship, he'll get 10 years. Let me ask you a question. Any coach, and I don't care what coach it is, let's just say ABC coach gets hired by the Knicks, right? ABC coach, that is generic coach. They win the championship in 2026. Whoever that coach is going to be a legend forever in New York. Am I correct on that? Y'all got me? So whoever ABC coach is, that coaches the Knicks in 25-26, if they win a championship, that coach is going to be a legend in New York forever. Long as he lives, he's going to be a legend in New York, that coach, right? So whoever it is, whether it's Johnny Bryant, Taylor Jenkins, whoever, if they win a championship in New York, oh, no, much later, AC. And you was one of them monks that I was really, you was getting on my last nerve from the opening tip. But I let you go for a minute. Now you can leave. In the movie says, now you can't leave. Now you can leave. Okay, so where was I? That's right. So whoever wins a chip in New York is going to be a legend. And they won't be getting fired any day soon because they just won a championship. So, yeah, it's almost like if a guy wins a chip in New York, he could write his ticket, right? I mean, right? Am I right? If a guy wins a chip in New York, he could write his ticket. Whoever it is. If it's Johnny Bryant, Taylor Jenkins, Jason Kidd, Ime Udoka, whoever wins a chip in New York, basically, right, ticket. I believe any four of those guys would be good. Now I'm a little less enthusiastic about Johnny Bryant, and I explained why. He's not a coach with NBA experience, but I would be pulling for the young man. He's a young guy too. I'd be pulling for him. But any of those guys, any of them, Udoka, Kidd, or Jenkins, I would love any of them. I'm not particularly fond of Mike Brown, and this is the reason I would say, if y'all had a problem with Tibbs, you're going to have a problem with Mike Brown. Like, you don't want a Tibbs clone if you had a problem with Tibbs. Does that make sense, y'all? You don't want a Tibbs clone if you just had a problem with Tibbs, which means Michael Malone is not going to be your guy, and Mike Brown may not be either. Mike Brown is very similar to Tom Thibodeau. Very similar. He don't like rookies. He does play more than 7 to 8 guys, but he don't like rookies. He don't like rookies. He got fired because he was trying to treat LeBron like he was a rookie. And that was a bad move. He got fired. When he was at Cleveland, when LeBron got drafted. And they fired him. He don't like rookies. He don't. So y'all ain't going to like Mike Brown. I don't know why some people, yelling out names of people that you ain't going to like. Yes, what I'm saying. Both of those guys are kind of like Tibbs clones type dudes. Mike Brown, Michael Malone. Those are kind of Tibbs type dudes. If you didn't like Tibbs, you're not gonna like these guys. Okay. Yeah, he's a lot like Tibbs. Tough. He wants defense. He wants rebounding. He's demanding of his players. Michael Brown is a lot like Tom Thibodeau. I'm telling you, and he don't like to play rookies. When I don't know if it was him that played Keegan Murray, I would be surprised, but he don't like playing rookies. Not Mike Brown. I'm trying to tell you, and he's been in a lot of places. Mike Brown has a lot of experience. He was head coach of Cleveland. I think he was head coach of Lakers, head coach Sacramento. He's been on the bench in Golden State. Mike Brown has a lot of experience in the NBA. There's no doubt. I wouldn't mind him. I would rank him behind Johnny Bryant. I'll put it that way. But I wouldn't mind him. No, not Van Gundy. Van Gundy's past history. That's old history. That's ancient history. Leave that in the past. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I need somebody that's coached in the NBA before. I like Mike Miller, but I wouldn't hire him either. I need somebody that's coached in the NBA before. Well, that's a good question. Dwayne Azado asked a very good question. He said, didn't Brown trade Halliburton? I don't think it was Brown. I think it was the general manager for the Kings that traded Halliburton. I don't think it was Mike Brown that did that. Yeah, I don't think it was Mike Brown. I think it was whoever the general manager was at the time. I think that's who traded Halliburton. I don't think Brown had the authority to request that Halliburton be traded. Divac. I think it was Vlade Divac. Thank you, Will Latimer. I think it was Vlade Divac. Yeah, I think it was Divac that traded Halliburton. See, even though a head coach may have a lot of sway, they don't always. Sometimes they do, but they don't always decide who goes and who stays. And sometimes that's what causes a rift between the head coach and the front office. A move is made without the head coach's knowledge or input. It's such the case with Luka Doncic and Jason Kidd. Yeah, so yeah, that's what I'm saying. Sacramento has had De'Aaron Fox, Night, what is it? Off Night, Davion Mitchell, and Halliburton. All of these guys were drafted in the lottery. Now they don't have any of them. Ewing doesn't have head coaching experience. I'd like to have seen him as an assistant coach on the Knicks for a while. I like Taylor Jenkins. Taylor Jenkins is the third guy on my list. Yeah, no rookie coaches. So Udoka, Kidd, Jenkins. Those are the top three. And then Johnny Bryant. I would put it that way. And if I had to choose a fifth guy, it would be probably Mike Brown. But I don't think he would be the answer. Yeah, I do like Taylor Jenkins, though. I ain't gonna front. He has Memphis. He had them playing some tough defense. He had them playing some ball. But they got a bunch of guys that weren't available. The Triple J, Jaren Jackson Jr. is a tremendous talent. But he wouldn't be able to play with Tibbs because he's hardly available, man. For a guy they paying all that money to. When he plays, he's really good when he plays. Yeah, so. No, Rick Brunson doesn't have any head coaching experience in the NBA. No, I'm sorry. I wouldn't do it. Like I said, you can't have a guy that's never coached and a head coach in the NBA. Let Rick Brunson get his, let him get his rocks off somewhere else. Mr. William 1072, thanks for the $5. Would you consider Mike Brown this generation's John Lucas, Bernie Bickerstaff? No, like I said, I think Mike Brown is Tom Thibodeau light. I think Mike Brown is Tom Thibodeau light. That's in the Tom Thibodeau mode right there. Mike Brown, Michael Malone, those are Tom Thibodeau. Both of them are tough dudes. They would be able to coach in New York, but y'all won't like them. If you didn't like Tibbs, you ain't gonna like these guys. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I don't think the Knicks are choosing guys like that. They don't want another Tibbs. They don't want that. They want something different. That's what I'm saying. I think it's gonna be Jason Kidd. I think it's gonna be Jason Kidd. They're gonna want new blood, new voice, somebody that everybody respects. Especially, let me ask y'all this question: do you believe Jason Kidd would respect? Would Jalen Brunson respect Jason Kidd? Would Jason Kidd have the backing of Jalen Brunson? That's a very important question. Would Jason Kidd have the backing of Jalen Brunson? I would have to say 100%. I'm with you, WBJ, 100%. So if you get the captain behind you, anybody that's not with it is just going to be an outsider that probably needs to be traded. Everybody's going to be on board. This is a very important criteria. Did you guys read Ian Begley's piece on what the players had to say about Tom Thibodeau right before he was fired? Did anybody read that? What Ian Begley wrote was that the players had a great respect for Tom Thibodeau. All of them. There were just two problems. Some of them didn't know what their roles were, what to expect, and they thought some things should have been upgraded. But they had great respect for Tom Thibodeau. And that's the way I think it. I could see that. It wasn't like they hated Tom Thibodeau. They wanted some things to be changed. Okay. So is what it is. So I think everybody would have great respect for Jason Kidd, especially Jalen Brunson. I think Jason Kidd would help Brunson and Deuce in the development of their games. Okay. I think Jason Kidd would help both Jalen Brunson and Deuce in the development of their games. Shamgar would help Brunson and Deuce in the development of their games. They would definitely do it. Okay. So, I can understand that, Michael Drake. And Kolek. That's right, Miss Edwards. Correct. Kidd would help Kolek. God would help Kolek. And Darryl Armstrong, if he comes, they would all help Tyler Kolek. So I think that's why I'm thinking we're going to go with Kidd. The Knicks are guard heavy, and they're going to be guard dependent. That's going to be because you got some of your biggest talent is at the guard spot. So I can see that's coming. I think the Giannis talks are clickbait. That's what I think. How old is Giannis? Let me just look this up. How old is Giannis? How old is he? 30 yet? How old is he? I'm gonna take this look at this. How old is Giannis Antetokounmpo? Antetokounmpo. How old is he? Let me see. Giannis is 30. So Giannis is 30. So let's make a couple of assumptions. Giannis is 30. A guy with that type of physical makeup and talent. I think we can get 3 more years of MVP level play from Giannis. I think so. Especially if he's got help. So, if you can get 3 more years, if you're Milwaukee and you got an asset such as Giannis Antetokounmpo, okay? You've got an asset such as Giannis Antetokounmpo, and you want to rebuild, you want to start over. What do you want? What do you want for Giannis? You're the management of Milwaukee. What are you looking for Giannis? That's right. That's right, Dio. I would definitely, everybody would be on the trade block. I'd be looking to get cap space. I'd be looking to get young talent. I'd be looking to get draft capital for Giannis. That's what I would do. That's right. Now, Giannis earns $49 million this year. There's only one player on the Knicks whose salary would match that. So we're talking about trading Karl Anthony Towns then. It would have to be a 3-team trade. Why do I say that? It would have to be a 3-team trade. Why would it have to be a 3-team trade? We just said, if you're Milwaukee, you're going to tear this whole thing down. So you're trading everybody. And you're getting as much draft capital and you're getting as much young talent as you can get. So now, what you must do in that case is you must scan the league and see who has the money. Who has the money to take on Karl Anthony Towns? That's what you're looking for. Who has the money to take on Karl Anthony Towns? That's what you want to know. So who has the money? So what I would do is I would go to Team Cap. Let me go to Spot Rack and look at Team Cap. Team Cap Space. The team with the most cap space right now is a team you don't want to deal with. That is the Utah Jazz. You don't want to deal with them. You have Utah has the most cap space, followed by Charlotte, San Antonio, Chicago, OKC, Brooklyn, Detroit, Clippers, Memphis, Portland. So the most cap space right now is owned by the Utah Jazz. So you'd have to get the Utah Jazz. You'd have to be dealing with the Ripper. You know what they say in the movie, You Could Kiss the Baby. You could kiss the baby. So that's why this would be difficult to do. This would be difficult to do. Yeah, it would be difficult to do. Yeah. So that's a difficult scenario. To get Giannis is not impossible, but it would be very difficult. Very difficult. Okay. And my personal view is the Knicks were too carefully built to try to go after one guy that's going to have to tear half the team down. We did this with Melo. Y'all recall, right? The Knicks were actually headed to a good season the year we traded for Carmelo Anthony. Y'all remember that? They were actually, Ray Felton was playing at an all-star level, probably in the best shape of his whole NBA career before they pulled the plug for Carmelo Anthony. And they was never recovered from that. I don't think they're going to do that. I don't think they're going to do that. So that whole Giannis thing makes no sense. And Kevin Durant is a loser. I'm just going to be honest with you. At least Giannis carried his team to the chip. Durant bailed. bailed on his team to go to a team that didn't need him to win the chip. And then every team he's been on since, he has bailed. He bailed on Oklahoma City. He bailed on the Nets. And he's about to bail on the Suns. So I would not, I'm not looking at KD. I'm sorry. He don't got the heart to be in New York. Y'all, anybody call for him don't know New York. KD in New York, you got to play with heart, right? Isn't that correct? That's why we love Josh Hart, not because he plays with heart, right? Josh Hart plays with heart. We know that, okay? So that's why we love him. KD's a punk. I'm sorry. He don't play with heart. He don't got that. He don't got it. So I'm sorry, We're not talking to KD. Don't listen to the clickbait. Don't listen to it. Yeah, he got estrogen. That's right. That's right. He got estrogen. Shoot, he better get some help for that. He might be growing breasts soon. He be like it's raining men over there. Men on film or some mess. He better do something. Shoot. Yeah, exactly, Mike Miller. He's got the skill set, not the mindset. That's perfectly said. Very well said. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm not worried about KD. Giannis, I could understand them going after him, but I don't think they want to pay that price because that's a heavy price you got to pay to get Giannis. So I don't think so. And that's a function of today's NBA. These guys cost a lot of money and a lot of assets, and you got to break up your team to get them. So you were asking the question, are you looking at Phoenix all over again now? Because that's what Phoenix did. They gave up a whole lot of assets to get those three big guys. And they didn't even make the playoffs. I don't know. I ain't doing it. I don't think the Don is doing it. I don't think so. So somebody asked, what went wrong against Indiana? The Knicks did not stick to the game plan, namely Jalen Brunson. Did not stick to the game plan. Went away from the game plan and made it personal. Okay. That was the big one. McNeish, wait, you obviously don't know anything about basketball, especially NBA basketball. It's almost you saying Josh Hart has no heart is like saying like Michael Jordan wasn't an MVP. That's about you have now won the prize. That's the stupidest thing to say today that I've seen. You said Josh Hart has no heart and he's not tough like Anthony Mason. Anthony Mason is dead. Rest in peace. Josh Hart is alive. And he has a lot of heart. For you to say that is that was Ant. That was stupid, wasn't it? Ain't got no heart. I tell you what, whatever weed you got, once you sober up, come back and see it. Once you sober up. That was pretty stupid. Josh Hart, this is New York High, right? This is New York. This is New York High. This is New York Knicks channel. You can't come in here. You can't come in here talking that stupidness. What the hell's wrong? Where'd you get that weed from, man? What is Acapulco gold being tossed around? Is it lace? Because you came out with some out your face that was like, what the hell, man? Well, let's wait, Dio. Let's wait. Maybe he's sobering up. Maybe he's sobering up. I would like to see Precious and Hooparty play. I'd like to see them both play. I'd like to see Hooparty with Precious and Deuce and Hart and Shannon. I'd like to see that whole five come in there. I'd like to see that, man. But yeah, I'd like to see that whole five. Corey Lindsay asked, will Cat leave the Knicks? I didn't think Cat had a choice as to whether to leave the Knicks or not. I think Cat contract is locked in. He don't got no say. Cat ain't got no say whether he gonna leave the Knicks or not. Are you asking the Knicks gonna trade him? I don't think so. Not after one season. That'd be short-sighted. The Don plays chess. You don't play checkers. That'd be so short-sighted. I don't think they're gonna do that. Yeah, I agree. So I'd like to see Precious, Hooparty, Deuce with Shamet and Hart. I'd like to see that be as a second five. I think that would be a beautiful second five. And that's the thing. That's my excitement about Jason Kidd. I think Jason Kidd gonna have he gonna have 5 coming off the bench. I think he's gonna have 5 coming off the bench. I'd like to see that. So we'll see. This is gonna be interesting, man. E. Gibson, what are you talking about? Upgraded bench pieces? What you talking about? Upgraded who? Who you dissing to get your upgraded bench pieces that you flouting off about? E. Gibson, upgraded who? Upgraded who? Lee Thomas, what's up, man? Stop talking that foolishness. I don't know. Did you read that from Brian Windbag? Upgraded bench pieces? You are dissing anyway. See, and this is the modern age. People try to talk out of both sides of their mouth and they ass and then deny they're doing it. You cannot say upgrade the bench without dissing somebody that's on the bench. Right now, our bench is Josh Hart, Deuce McBride, Mitchell Robinson. Who are you dissing to upgrade your bench? People like to talk out of their ass, pull names out their ass, and talk out of both sides of their mouth and then deny that they're doing it. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. If you are asking for replacements, because that's what you're asking for, okay, then you're replacing somebody. Who are you replacing? Some fool talking about we need a backup center. I said, why are you dissing Newport? Oh, no, I'm not dissing Newport. Yes, you are. If you asking for somebody to step in front of him, you dissing him. They might get rid of Payne. He might go. But I'm not worried about it because I'm dissing Payne in favor of anybody got a problem with paying DeLon Wright in front of Cameron Payne? Do y'all got a problem with that? Any of y'all got a problem playing Landry Shamet in front of Cameron Payne? Does anybody got a problem with that? No, I don't have a problem with that. See, that's what I'm saying. You can't just say bring somebody on. You're dissing somebody that's already on the team. The Knicks is stacked right now. So for you to say we need to upgrade our bench, who is the guy that you think should be replaced to upgrade your bench? I think Deuce McBride is a legitimate scoring option off the bench. I got plenty of faith in Deuce McBride, E. Gibson. So stop with the bull crap, please. I got plenty of confidence in our own drafted Deuce McBride. Plenty of confidence. And let me just say this for the 100th time, because there's a lot of because what it is guys like Gibson are so drunk from Twitter that they can't think straight. Okay? Let me explain something to you. Defensively is where the Knicks bench excels. It wasn't offensively. Don't look at how many points they score. Then you're missing the whole point. No pun intended. How many stops do the Knicks get when their bench plays? Do you realize that during the Pacers series, there were 2 occasions where Tibbs sat both Brunson and Cat, and the Knicks outscored the Pacers 11-2. Without the bench guys scoring a whole lot. Why? Because they were getting stops. So if you're looking at the bench from the perspective of all the knuckheads saying we need more scoring off the bench, you're not paying attention. You're not paying attention. I believe with Deuce, Shamet. Hey, listen to me, y'all. I want to ask y'all a question. Here's a question. Knicks Nation, here's the question. I'm going to name 4 players. Mitchell Robinson, Deuce McBride, Landry Shamet, and Josh Hart. How many defensive benches are better than that in the NBA? How many benches can play better defense than those 4 on the floor in the NBA? Okay. How many? Not many. Okay. E. Gibson, did you listen to anything that was just said? Did you just completely, did you hear anything that was just said? We're not talking about bench scoring. We're talking about bench defense. Okay? We're not talking about bench scoring. See, you're looking at bench scoring stats like a knucklehead, and you're not paying attention. They got the best defense coming off the bench. Okay? You're not paying any attention. Class is in session. Wake up. Yeah. Rich M. uh, um, okay. John Pettit asked the question: with the guys I named, who would you take as the 10th guy? This is a good question. John Pettit, that's a legitimate question. That's a very legitimate question. Let's go over it. Okay. So the bench unit, I would, if you're gonna ask me now, I would have as my bench unit, I would have well, first off, if you're asking me, I would start Deuce. Okay. So let's start off with that, John Pettit. Okay. I would start Deuce. I would start Deuce and I would bring Mitchell Robinson off the bench. Okay. Okay. Everybody, all right, John, you got me there? So here's my five. It would be Mitchell Robinson, Precious Achua, Josh Hart, DeLon Wright, and Landry Shannon. Did you caught me? You caught me there, Petty? Yeah, I would have Mitch coming off the bench. So I would have Mitchell Robinson, Precious Achua, Josh Hart, DeLon Wright, and Landry Shannon. I would have those five. And then I would start Deuce instead of Mitchell Robinson. I would start Deuce alongside Brunson, and I would have Deuce, Brunson, OG, McCall, and Cat. Yeah. So yeah, and Buddha Namast, you're right. The pick and roll defense definitely hurt the Knicks, and that was mostly due to Cat. Cat is a horrible pick and roll defender. He really is bad. I wouldn't say he's quite as bad as what was that guy's name that came from Turkey that used to play for the Knicks? He was the worst defender I've ever seen on the Knicks, but I forgot his name. But you guys know what I'm talking about. There was a guy who used to play for the Knicks. He was a terrible Cantor, Enes Cantor, great rebounder. Oh my God, he couldn't guard a shadow. Now, I'm hoping, and this is as a Knicks fan, I'm hoping that whoever comes in as the new coach and the new coaching staff will help somehow Karl Anthony Towns on pick and roll defense. Somehow. I don't know how, but I'm hoping. Because that was bad. That was really bad. Okay. So now on the opposite end, Mitchell Robinson is tremendous in pick and roll defense. Mitchell Robinson is tremendous in pick and roll defense. So they're completely opposites. Mitch Rob is not an offensive threat, and Cat can't play defense. So I'm hoping, somebody can come in and help us. He don't have to be all NBA defense. He just like when Halliburton was running through the lane with them floaters, all he had to do was step up on Halliburton. That's all he had to do. If he could have did that, I'd have been happy. But he just couldn't even do that. He got the biggest feet in the NBA. I agree with you, D.O. There's no doubt about it. That boy's feet continue. And he's always tripping over his feet. When he goes to the basket, them big size 23s, he'd be tripping over his own feet and ended up in the. Yeah, Mitch Rob is a great defender in the pick and roll. Yeah. I mean, Cat got some big ass feet. And then it even gets worse when he wears some shoes with some color on it, like some red. You're like, what the hell he wear red or orange for? Them big ass feet. I would wear black sneakers all the time if I was him. Dad, hide them a little bit. There go. That boy got some feet on him. Shoot. Imagine that. Yeah. So anyway, they got a guy named Bryant that's a good big man coach. What's his name? Y'all know what I'm talking about. They got an assistant coach named Bryant. I hope they keep him because he can help a little bit. He can help a little bit. Well, you have to remember, Bostino. Tibbs only had Cat at the beginning of last season. They had no training camp, and they definitely had no summer together. So we can't say for certainty whether Cat can be helped or not. You can't. It's very difficult once the season starts to make those type of adjustments. Very difficult. So Tibbs only had him. Tibbs had him at the beginning of the preseason. It wasn't even like Tibbs had him in the summer or anything. So we don't know. I know. Otherwise, that's a good question. Yes, I agree with that, John Pettit, in the sense that what he's saying. John Pettit is saying if Mitch Rob starts, it helps Cat defensively. I agree with you. I 100% agree with you. But my problem is that we know that Mitchell Robinson is prone to injury. And I feel like coming off the bench, we can extend his season. We can maybe get 72 games, if out of him if he's coming off the bench. But I agree. With the helping of Cat there. He does help Cat defensively. Yep. Basically, OG had it with him. Jalen Brunson had to tell Cat to shut up because he was running his mouth and OG was trying to tell him something. Yeah, so I'm trying to prolong Mitchell Robinson's time on the floor, and I feel like coming off the bench will do that, whereas starting it gives him a higher chance of getting hurt. That's why. I think I like Hooporty behind Mitchell Robinson. So if Mitch Rob starts, as John Pettit mentioned, then I like Hooporty as the first five off the bench. Okay, I like that. If Mitch Rob comes off the bench, then I like Hooporty in any game that Mitch Rob has to start because Cat is missing because of an ankle or something. I like Hooporty to be that first five off the bench. You see, so I like Hooporty to be in the rotation. He's the only guy that we got that's a youngin that I feel can make the rotation this year. Him and Marjon Beauchamp. Both of those guys I feel could be very good off the bench. But we have to see. Beauchamp's time will depend on what they do with Precious Achiuwa. Yeah. Yeah. I love Hooporty's energy. I think he's talented. He could play the five in the NBA. What we don't know is his availability situation. We don't know what he's about. Yeah. So we'll see. We'll have to see that. That's going to be an important part, though. I think all of us agree this summer, the mindset of the defensive side of the ball coming into camp is going to be very important for the Knicks this year. Very important. Well, I don't know if the loss of weight will help him, Dio. His feet are just big, man. I'm so serious. I mean, I don't know if that's going to help him. I think he's in the shape he needs to be in. He's too big and strong for most guys. He is not very athletic as a jumping guy. Like, he's not Mitchell Robinson, but he's too big and strong for most guys. You just got to stop making too stupid fouls. Yeah, very clumsy. I think he is very clumsy. But I don't think he needs to lose any weight. I think he's good. Whatever problem it is with his knee, I think he needs to get that fixed. And yes, Coach Hauser, as with a lot of big guys, motor is the issue. I agree with that. That's what I had a problem with Edey. I was telling you, everybody was thinking Edey was the second coming of Wilt Chamberlain, and I was telling y'all, I don't like his motor. I think he's good for 15 minutes a game, and that's about what he was good for. Matter of fact, he's going to miss the opening part of the season with ankle surgery this year. Y'all know that? He hurt his ankle practicing the other day. So, yeah, I like our bench, man. I have no problem with our bench. I'm very disappointed in anybody talking about needing help off the bench because they're looking at bench scoring. You be looking at bench defense. That's what you need to look at. How good do they play on defense? And I don't understand. How could you see this team go on 11-2 runs with this bench and then say you need bench help? Why? Because you want to be higher ranked scoring? It's like all of those idiots that were calling for the Knicks to pick up their pace. The Knicks are last in pace. Pace don't mean anything if you control the basketball and win the game. Okay? Having higher pace don't make you better. And having more bench scoring don't make you better. Okay? Yeah, Cat has a really bad problem committing stupid fouls. He does need to stop that. There's no doubt about that. And he has to stop arguing with the referees. That's a waste of time. That's not even professional. He really needs to move on from that. Nobody replaces Cat. The fans can go to hell. Did I answer the question, Wolverine 1986? Nobody replaces Cat. The fans can go to hell. They can continue to be stupid. The thing is, tomorrow I can wake up and I can be on time. The fans will still be stupid tomorrow. So, no. There is no replacement for Karl-Anthony Towns. And no, he's not going anywhere. I don't care what Brian Windbag said or what NBA Central said or what any of those idiots say. Karl-Anthony Towns is going to be here again. Yes. So I am hoping that whoever the next coach is or coaching staff can work with the young man and help him on his pick and roll defense. That's all. That we can go into camp with a strategy for Towns to play better in the pick and roll defense. I hope we can do that. That would be nice. We'll see. I'm gonna tell you something though. If Karl Anthony Towns can improve his pick and roll defense, I'm not saying he needs to be all NBA, but if he improves his pick and roll defense so that they can get some stops, the Knicks could come out the East. You hear me? With this same team, the Knicks could come out the East. They really could. So I think a lot of people, anybody talking about trading Karl Anthony Towns or trying to get Giannis is very short-sighted, which is par for the course in New York. Most people are short-sighted. You don't like the playoffs, and all of a sudden he has to be traded. It's just very short-sighted. That's been our problem. It's a plague in New York, in New York Nation, short-sightedness. So but exactly. Who said that? Coach House. If we can get him to be just serviceable as a pick and roll defender, then this could come out the East. That's how good this team could be. Okay. Because you know what you're going to get out of OG, you're going to get out of Deuce. You know you're going to get out of Mikal Bridges. I think McCall's going to be better just because you're going to see him play at least 4 minutes or less a game. He should go to like 31 minutes a game. You'll get a better Mikal Bridges, a better fourth quarter Mikal Bridges if you could get him down to like 32, 31 minutes a game instead of 37. That's what he was playing this year, 37. If you can get him down to 32, you're going to have a better Mikal Bridges. And that defense is going to be hellified. Okay. Otherwise. So I like McCall with less minutes. I think you're going to see a better fourth quarter McCall with less minutes. I really think so. And that's going to be good. I think that'll be very good. I think everybody in New York will be better with less minutes. Much as I love Tibbs, like I said, I don't criticize Tibbs. I don't look to knock him in the ass once he's getting out the door like some assholes like to do. I love Thibodeau. This channel is always going to be pro Thibodeau. Yes, that he could have done a little bit better. I would have liked that, but it is what it is. I think McCall's contract will be in the $30 million range to start. I don't know what it will end up with. It'll be a 4-year deal, probably, maybe a 5. And he'll end up, I don't know what it'll end up, but it'll start around 30 million. Start around 30 million. Okay. So I'm looking at that. I don't know what he'll end up with at the end of the day. I don't think he's going to get the number that Jalen Brunson got. So I don't think we are. But I think Shamet is going to get more minutes this coming season. I think, for us to say, right, that the Knicks will have a 10-man rotation in 25-26, right? For us to say the Knicks will have a 10-man rotation, that means there's going to be 10 guys that play at least 10 minutes a game. So that means Shamet will be getting a consistent 10, 12, 14, 16 minutes. DeLon Wright, too. I think so, both. Otherwise, of course, there's always a possibility that you'll regret the move you made to fire your current coach if the new coach isn't better. But I think that Don and myself, for sure, I am very confident in the talent level of our team. If the Knicks can stay healthy, and that's the if with everybody, if the Knicks could stay relatively healthy in 25-26, they could come out the East. Okay. So I trust Leon's judgment. And like I said, there's too many good guys out here. So if you get Ime Udoka or you get Jason Kidd or you get Taylor Jenkins, you really can't go wrong. Even Johnny Bryant, you really can't go wrong. I think you can't make a wrong decision here. It's pretty tough. Any of those 4 guys would do very well. So I don't think there's going to be any, it's always going to be a risk, right? Whenever you're firing a coach, like I said, that's the thing that can shake up an organization. So the Knicks just rebuilt the organization. Firing Tibbs was a ballsy move. It was. So he's taking the calculated risk. Okay, so we just got to see how this works out. Yeah, I think the Knicks could take the East next year, though. I really do favor them, actually. I think they'll be better than Cleveland, and I think they'll be better than Boston next year. Next year, I think Indiana and the Knicks will be top of the East. Well, the thing is, Dio, for Udoka, Houston would have to give permission for the Knicks to talk to him. The Knicks are very strong in that if they give permission to talk to a coach, that coach is coming. So if you hear that the Knicks have permission, which I haven't, but if the Knicks get permission to talk to Udoka, Udoka's going to be the Knicks coach. If the Knicks get permission to talk to Kid's going to be the Knicks coach. I don't think Houston would do it, though. I don't think Houston's going to allow Udoka to even have a possibility of leaving. I don't think so. So, yeah. I am sorry. I am not high on Kevin McCullough. I am not high on him. I am not. I'm going to make a prediction. He may not even be on the roster at the end of next season. I don't like him as an NBA player. I don't think he's a strong candidate to be a regular NBA player. Yeah, like I said, Bean, if Dallas gives permission, and that's the title of today's video. If Dallas gives permission for the Knicks to talk to Kid's going to be the next head coach. Period. I started watching his G League games, Luke. I started watching him in G League a little bit, and I didn't get a chance to see a lot of him in college. And when I look at a player, an NBA level player, I'm looking at their ability and their upside. Okay, they got to have some upside. In other words, how much better can this player get? Okay, so when I'm looking at a guy like when Deuce was coming out, I thought Deuce had a lot of upside. Like I knew he could shoot at the NBA level. I knew he could play defense at the NBA level. I had no doubt he could play make at the NBA level. So that's why I liked him. He has a lot of upside. I don't see a lot of upside with McCullough. I don't see it. I don't see it. He's at a point where, like, in Deuce's career, Deuce is where McCullough is in his rookie year. Where McCullough is now, that's what Deuce was in his rookie year. The only thing, Deuce had more upside. McCullough, I don't see any more upside. I don't like his NBA strength. I don't like his NBA speed. I don't like it. He has a good motor. I don't think he's an NBA player. I really don't. I'm not high on McCullough. I don't think Kolek is anywhere in the same universe as Jalen Brunson. That's not even. Actually. I'm gonna let you run on that. Who said that? Angry Jenkins. But that's disrespect to Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson led his high school teams to 2 championships, his college teams to 2 championships, and damn near took the Dallas Mavericks to the finals, where they lost in the first round, but he was carrying them by himself. So yeah, please don't compare a really polished all NBA player like Jalen Brunson to Tyler Kolek. That's disrespecting Jalen Brunson. Kolek and Brunson are not even in the same. They're not even in the same universe. Okay, they're not. I'm not saying Kolek got to improve on the defensive side of the ball. That's all. He really does. If he can improve on the defensive side of the ball, and that is possible. Luke is basing it on how he looks. That's disrespect to John Stockton. John Stockton was all NBA defense multiple times. Okay. I don't think anybody would mistake Tyler Kolek for somebody that could eventually play all NBA level defense. Yeah. Yeah. So I don't, yeah. Yeah. No, I've actually seen all those guys play, and Kolek is not any of them. He's not. He for damn sure ain't no Pete Maravich. He for damn sure ain't no John Stockton, and he for damn sure ain't no Steve Nash. And no, he's not. Some of y'all really start. I don't know if it's the heat or whatever. Some of y'all start tripping, man. Yeah. This is a big summer for Tyler Kolek. It's a big summer for him. Y'all do realize he's 24 years old, right? Wait. Y'all do realize he's 24 years old. Oh, I didn't see. I'm sorry, I missed the super tag question. Let me go back. Do you want to see from McCall? Do you want him before more of a creator of the ball, or do you want him to focus on 3-point? Honestly, I am of the mind that I want McCall to play his game, and I think he's a really good defender, and he's a clutch player. I I think he gets too much criticism, and I think he played too many minutes this year. If you give him less minutes, a guy that's an 82 game player, you'll get a better version of him. I don't want him to change anything. I want him to play the way he plays, but I just want him to be more rested. So I would like to see him play 32 minutes instead of 37 minutes a game. That's the only change I would make with him. I don't expect all kind of pros to make their big. This ain't high school, right? So he's going to play how he plays. Yeah. No, John Stockton was very physical. If John Stockton boarded, some players would tell you John Stockton was a dirty player. Okay. That's how physical he was. Tyler Kolek is not even, he couldn't even tie John Stockton's shoes. He just couldn't. Sorry. He just couldn't do it. No. John Stockton was tough as hell, man. No. Well, I wouldn't take either. I like the guards we have, including Kolek. I just don't think Kolek is ready to make any impact in far as rotation minutes this year. It's a big summer for him. I want to see what he does in the summer league. I'm not expecting him to be all world, but I want to see some improvement. Yeah, I want to see some improvement from him on the defensive side of the ball. We know he can handle the rock. We know he could pass. We know he could shoot. He needs a little bit, more. The game has to slow down for him so he can shoot better. He'll shoot better like Deuce did. He'll shoot better when the game slows down for him. Yeah, I heard Vernon Maxwell call Stockton dirty, and it wasn't the first guy to do it either. I mean, other people have called him dirty when he played for Utah because that's how tough he was. So, yeah, he was a tough dude, man, no doubt. Yeah, I agree with you, Dio. Don't be comparing some rookie dude, man, with guys that could ball, Hall of Fame level ballers, man. Come on, man. Yeah, so. Angry Jenkins is another knucklehead that thinks because I was wrong about Tibbs not being fired that he's right about Kolek, which is bullshit. Quit talking out your ass, man. Stop. Kolek ain't going nowhere. Kolek better play good in summer league or his ass might not even be on the team. Kolek. Kolek. It reminded me of last summer. There were cats last summer saying Deuce McBride is going to be the odd man out because of Tyler Kolek. Hey, y'all remember that? Tyler Kolek is going to be the third guard in the rotation. Tyler Kolek is going to be playing behind. I've even heard dudes on big play. Tyler Kolek is going to be playing behind Jalen Brunson. He's the backup point guard. No, Deuce ain't the Deuce is the odd man out. I couldn't believe I was actually hearing it. Oh my gosh, man. All I can say is I hope Precious comes back. That's all I can say. I hope Precious comes back. I'd like to see Precious Achiuwa back on the Knicks. I like exactly. I'd like to see Precious Achiuwa back on the Knicks with a new contract. I'd like to see Precious be at least here for the next 3 seasons, man. Yeah, I agree with you, November. This team is too deep for him. Really, we got a stacked team. People keep mentioning players. McCullough, where's McCullough going to play? I don't know. I don't see him as an NBA player yet. I'm just saying. Maybe he can become one. But y'all got to understand, guys going into age 25 have very little upside. Am I making that up or is that true? I want to make sure. Come on, Knicks, talk to me. If a guy is if he's just making a team and he's 25, does he have a lot of upside left? Generally speaking. Well, I mean, I'm just saying, if a guy is 24 and he's just finishing his rookie year and he's the 12th guy and you think he's got upside, I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I don't see it. Right. So look, DeLon Wright is 33, so he's not like he's no spring chicken, but we're not looking for DeLon Wright to play 40 minutes a game. We're looking for DeLon Wright to back up, spot start when somebody like Brunson gets hurt or back up, I think Precious, you say 3 years, 12 mil. I think that's a little light for Precious. That's 4 million per. I really would give Precious at least three and 18. I would give him at least 3 years, 18 million. I think he's at least that. I would give him that. Yeah, 318. I would. What do you think, okay? I think I would give him at least 318. At least 318. Maybe 321, something like that. Precious is worth all that. But if you give him the 318 and he takes it, I think we're good. We could do that. The Don got the balls to do that. Yeah, 318. He'll take that. Hey, listen, then Deuce better get 318 on his extension. What y'all think? You know, 6 a year? Okay, look, I can live with that. 6 million. Yeah. Like Obi Toppin. Thank you, Jason Vizcara. Let's assume this is Obi Toppin's ceiling. Is that good? Is Obi good or is it? I told y'all Obi was gonna be that dude. Is Obi good enough? Let's say he's not gonna get any better. This is Obi Toppin's ceiling. He could touch the top of the backboard, he could hit threes, he could defend. I think Obi's pretty daggone good right now. What y'all think? Even if that is his ceiling. Now, I think it's a whole different world. We talking about Obi's ceiling versus, say, Tyler Kolek or Kevin McCullough's ceiling. That's two different things. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, Obi can run the floor like a gazelle, man. Finish with the best of them. Yeah. Not only that, right now, right, on the Knicks, right, you got 3 two-way players under two-way contracts. And I keep getting dudes really, really on this Moses Brown's nutsack like ain't nobody tomorrow, but ain't no place for him. I don't know where he would play. He's not even on a two-way deal. Right now, you got Anton Watson, who's not long for the Knicks, believe me, McCullough, and you got Marshawn Beauchamp. All of them are on two-way deals. All 3 of them are on two-way deals. And let me tell you something. There's going to be players that are non-drafted this summer challenging those young men for their two-way deals. Okay, a lot of really hungry dudes out there. We're going to see how this works out, man. So yeah. So Brooklyn Bitch, I think that's his name. Brooklyn Bitch said the same Precious that folded in every big game we had when the lights were at the brightest. No, the one that when we only had 9 guys went out and got 16 boards a game. Brooklyn Bitch. The one that would get us 16 and 15 boards against guys like Orlando. That Precious. You probably forgot that because you can't remember what you had for dinner this morning or for breakfast this morning. Brooklyn Bitch. Sorry. I'm talking about the same Precious that folded. I can't stand when people talk about our dudes like that. Especially a dude that, put it on the line the way Precious did when everybody was hurt. Brooklyn Bitch. Shame on you. Jason Ficard said, now listen here. Just cause Tibbs is out now, that don't mean you're going to throw away the baby with the bathwater. You hear what I'm saying? So, yes, Tibbs wanted Kolek, and they got Kolek. That don't mean Kolek's going because Tibbs is going. That don't mean that. Tibbs didn't like Precious, and I'm hoping they keep Precious. You know what I'm saying? But, and that's the big question mark. I don't know if Jason Kidd, what he like, what he don't like. I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know. We're going to see. Yeah. This is the thing. Precious is not a spot guy. You can't just throw him out there with 2 minutes and say, guard the other team's best player. You can't do that. He has to get legitimate, consistent 15, 16, 20 minutes a game. And then you'll see the best of Precious Achiuwa. which we did the year before last when we were shorthanded. He was coming through, but y'all just don't remember that. I don't know why you could talk about him folding. Yeah, right. If he gets a nice lather and he's out there balling, he could ball now. Don't be messing with y'all remember some of them dunks he did this past year? I was at the game when he threw it down on somebody on the Wizards. It was ugly nasty, like ugly nasty. Precious did some mess, man. So yeah, I don't know. What messed Precious up this year was the 21 games he missed with the hamstring. That messed him up bad. Just like it messed my man up with the shoulder, my man Sham. So I think we'll be all right. Yeah, you remember that, Guilford? He flushed it on somebody with authority. And I was like, damn. I mean, everybody was going nuts. I was in Washington, D.C. for that game. Everybody was going nuts, man. The benches, everybody. I was like, damn. So, yeah, Precious. I think Precious has two of the best dunks this year for the Knicks, and Deuce has the third one. Y'all remember that Deuce dunk? I forgot who was the victim. But Kolek gave him the bounce pass, and Deuce rose up and windmilled it on somebody. Y'all remember that? He windmilled it on somebody. Oh. I love dunks like that, man. Precious did two of them. One of them was on Washington. Was it Detroit? Senior beef. Okay. Yeah, he windmilled it on somebody. It was ugly. I was like ugly. Like, oh, God. Oh, man. Oh, Lord. Nah. Precious. Don't be talking about Precious, man. Don't be coming here and admit that. Not with Precious. Nah. Precious is New York. That's our boy right there. I don't know. Jason Vizcara asked, what kid used him as a 4-5? I have no idea. I don't know much about kids' defensive philosophy, so I can't tell you. Oh, I got you, Brooklyn. Brooklyn bitch, I just want to tell you, this channel is Precious Hive. I just want to tell you, this channel is Precious Hive. So you can keep your commentary about him to yourself. This channel is Precious Hive. I just want to let you know. I don't think I let that be clear to you. Okay. This channel is Precious Hive. That's all I'm saying. I just want to make sure Brooklyn bitch got us. This channel is Precious Achua Hive. We definitely down with the Ebu on this channel. You can't mess with the Ebu Nation on this channel. I'm just saying. Precious is Ebu. OG Ananobi's Ebu. You can't mess with the Ebu Nation. That's like back in the 90s messing with the Zulu Nation. You can't mess with the Ebu Nation on this channel. Precious is Ebu Nation. He one of the tribes. You catching me? Brooklyn bitch. I just want to make sure. You got it. Precious is Ebu Nation, man. Is he Coach Hauser? Oh, you know what? You're right, Coach Hauser. He did do that in Dallas. He did play a little zone. I did remember that. I do remember that. Oh, I see. You think it's funny. Well, I'm glad in your in your departure, Brooklyn bitch, that you got a laugh out of it. I'm glad that, in your departing message, that while you was diving on the third rail, that you could laugh about it. That's really good attitude. We like that. But yes, I did notice J Kidd running some zone in Dallas. I gotta remember, that's true. He did it, and he did it in the playoffs. I ain't gonna front. I do remember that. I don't remember though. How successful was it? I think he ran into a problem with Boston. Right? That's why they lost, right? Running that damn zone. But he was successful leading up to that, though. So it must have worked. You know what? I ain't gonna front. Kidd has run zone. So for all you people that like to see the zone, I think you might see some with Jason Kidd. I think you might. Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're right. You know what? I didn't remember that until one of y'all brought it up. Which one of y'all was it, Jason? What of y'all brought it up? But yeah, he did run some zone in Dallas. I did see that. I could bear witness. Yeah, yeah, it's right. In the league, you can't run zone too much. You got to spot do that because if you do it too long, it's like the southpaw boxer keeping his left hand too low. He's open for that straight right. And if he keep doing it, he gonna catch that straight right. You know who used to do that? My man from Brooklyn, Zab Judah. He was left, and sometimes he lean with the right, but he keeping that left a little too low, and sometimes he will get popped, with that straight right. That's playing too much zone in the NBA. You're looking to get popped, so you can run it a little bit. Maybe let's say you can create a stop or two with that, right? That's cool. And then you got to go back to the regular defense. It's good to switch it up though. And that's the thing about, like I said, Miss Edwards said that you're getting another tiz with Jalen Brunson. I beg to differ from dear sister on that because Brunson runs a little bit more cerebral game. So he might switch up. He might do some zone. Let's say he gets 2 stops with the zone. Then he switches back to man and he gets another stop with man. That's I like that. What y'all think? I think I'm gonna like J Kidd. I think I'm gonna like J Kidd. What you think, Coach Hauser? I think I'm gonna like J Kidd. I think I am. I'm gonna like J Kidd, man. I'm gonna like him, man. Yeah. See, that's the thing, Dio. It's like you won't start off with it, right? But let's say like all of a sudden you gotta stop, and this is the thing. When you want to go on a run, right? We know in the league you got to get 3 stops in a row. That's when you want to go on a run. You got to get 3 stops in a row. So let's say you got to stop. Maybe it's a turnover. And you want to get 2 more stops. Boom, you throw a zone at him real fast. Throw a quick zone, boom. And you get a missed jump shot. Throw another quick zone, boom, and then miss again. Now you got 3 stops, right? Then you can go back to man. That's a good mix. And J Kidd will do that. J Kidd will do that. I think if whoever out here likes to see a cerebral dude that knows how to use different sets and plays with different lineups and is successful with it, that's Jason Kidd. That's Jason Kidd. Yeah, I think, no, we're not getting Giannis, Eric Chon. Oh, Eric Chon. Isn't that the dude from Cheech and Chong? The dudes from Cheech and Chong. The dudes that like to smoke a lot of weed. Eric Chon. You one of them dudes? Chong? You must be Chong. You talking about Giannis. You must be high. They ain't getting Giannis. So that ain't happening. Don't listen to clickbait, man. Chong, I know the weed must be good, but it's clickbait season. Clickbait season is mostly full of BS, man. You can't be listening to clickbait season. Yeah. No, I can guarantee you we're not getting Giannis. Giannis Antetokounmpo is not walking through that door. He's not walking through that door. Honestly, I don't know who would get Giannis. Honestly, I don't know who would get Giannis. I know teams that would want him, obviously. The Lakers would want him. I mean, probably most of the 29 other teams would want him, but I don't know who would actually get him. Well, Eric Chon, you think, has anyone indicated to you that Cam Whitmore is available? Do you think Houston would let Cam Whitmore leave? He's on his rookie deal. Yeah, I don't think Cam Whitmore is available. So, yeah, that's not really a possibility. If he was available, yes, I would definitely want to get him. Sadiq Bey, yes. Now, Sadiq Bey, as we know, is on the Washington Wizards, and he's coming off an ACL injury. So that's a couple of question marks there. But Sadiq would fit for many reasons. He can ball, number one. Number two, he's another Villanova guy. So that would work too. He plays two-way basketball. He plays high IQ basketball. I love Sadiq Bey's game, no doubt. But I don't think he's going to be available to us this year. Yeah, I like Sadiq Bey's game. I know, Cam Whitmore, right? Yeah, Sadiq has got a good. I mean, Sadiq is one of those guys that can do a lot of things really good, but never nothing great. He's a good defender. He's a good passer. He's a good shooter. He's solid. He's a solid NBA player. You know who he's a lot like? Different name. I call him Raphael Sadiq, but he's a lot like Keenan Murray over there in Sacramento. Very solid player. Can play a lot of positions, guard very well. Not somebody you would think of as an all-star, but a very solid, don't make a lot of mistakes type of guy. You know, somebody that Jay Wright would coach, you know. I like Sadiq Bey. But to me, yeah, if you're going to get Sadiq Bey, you're replacing Precious Achua. You're not replacing Josh Hart. If you're going to get Sadiq Bey, that means Precious is not going to be on your team. Jay Sniper, I'm thinking it's going to be Jason Kidd. We already got a bench chunk. We don't need what we already got. Now, I can get with you talking about Sadiq Bey. If he comes back full strength, I can get with you. But you're going to have to replace Precious Achua. Now, I'm not real high on that because this is Precious Hive, but I can understand that. But don't indict our whole bench saying we need a bench. We got a bench. Okay, it's not the bench's fault that how they were played. We got a bench already. Our bench is really good, and they proved it in the playoffs. They're really good. Duarte's too old, past his prime already. Came too late. He was a 4-year player at Oregon, maybe a 5-year player, and he came into the league at age 24. There's no more upside to Duarte. He's done. He's a solid NBA player. I wouldn't put a lot of stock in him. Now, if you're talking about Sadiq Bey, that's a different guy. Okay. The mid-level exception, I'm hoping that would go to Precious. If you're asking me, I'm hoping Precious would get the mid-level exception. That would be my vote. Precious Achua would get it. Somebody mentioned 3 years, $18 million. That's about their non-taxpayer mid-level exception. I think it's $5 million, right? Your non-taxpayer mid-level exceptions around $5 million. I would give all of that plus another $1 million to Precious. I would do that. That would be my guy. Let me see here. I'm looking at Spot Rack right now to see what we got available. It looks like, Precious right now, they got a $11.4 million hold for him. I don't think it would cost that much. But the Knicks, I think the Knicks do have the non-taxpayer mid-level exception available. Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that, Wayne Peterson. DeLon Wright is solid. And I need somebody solid coming off the bench in that position. He can start. He can play meaningful minutes. He's not going to make a lot of mistakes. He moves the basketball. I like DeLon Wright. I like him a lot. So, yeah. Dorian Finney might be too expensive for us, Jabroni Z. I believe Dorian Finney gets paid pretty good money, if I'm not mistaken. I think Dorian Finney is going to be way more expensive than Cat. I think so. Let me just double check that. I'm pretty sure about that. Let me just double check. Dorian Finney-Smith is on the Lakers, right? He's on the Lakers. Yeah, Dorian Finney is coming off. Well, he's coming off a $15 million contract, and Dorian Finney-Smith is 32 years old. Now, he's an unrestricted free agent, I think, this year, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see. No, he's in the last year of his contract, $15 million, Dorian Finney, and he's 32. I think I'd rather have Precious, who's 25. Right, Jabroni Z? I think I'd rather have Precious. He's 25 years old. If we can get rotation minutes, I think he's a better upside. I think I'd like him. Yeah, but Carmina, he was known as a street baller. I mean, even when I remember him at Providence, he had the street ball New York City game. God, Sam God. Street ball. I mean, I seen him at Providence. He had the street ball playground West 4th Street game. He did. I mean, he did. he had that type of game, man. So I mean, and he knows. I mean, not just that, he's developed a reputation as a well-known coach of guards in the NBA. And Jason Kidd always has him on his staff, so he would be good for it. He would be good for. He would be good with Cameron, who played the role of Alpo Martinez in what's the name of the movie? He played Alpo. That was a true story. It was what was that? What was that movie Cameron played? And he played a role that was supposed to be for Alpo Martinez. Y'all remember that movie? Paid in Full. That's right. And the other dude played Faison. AZ Faison. The other dude played that. The skinny dude, which Faison was more husky, but yeah, right. And Cameron played Alpo. You know what Faison girl said that he didn't like the way Cameron played him because Cameron paid him too well. They said Cameron played Alpo Faison Alpo Martinez too well. They said it made him scared he played him so well. Alpo was weakened. Alpo was weakened. And you know the emphasis is on was. The emphasis is on was. I don't know why he came back to New York. That's a guy that I think he was asking to die. I really do. I think he was asking to die. As many guys as he killed reportedly, you know, I think he was asking to die. I'm not surprised at that, Jabroni C. I wish I could say I was surprised at that. But yeah, why would Alpo Martinez set up for life with money? I think he was sent to Maine. Why the hell would he come back to New York? I don't know. He could have went to Columbia, right, and be in a New York type situation in Cartagena, Colombia, or in Medellin or in Bogota. He could have been set up like that. He could have flowed the same way over there, but nobody was gonna kill him, right? He come back to Harlem, man. I don't know. To me, I think he subconsciously wanted to be killed. He probably subconsciously wanted to be killed because there's no way he should have come back to New York. There's no way. And then it was so bold about it. Pictures and everything, all in the paper. That's like John Gotti. You know, the mob didn't like John Gotti always being in the paper, the Teflon Don, because you're supposed to be on the DL in that thing. Alpo should have been on the DL, but it was inevitable. So he was gonna get got. You know, he was gonna get got. I think he just wanted to get got. He was gonna get got regardless. So. You know, when you're a little boy, when you're a young boy, you could do certain things. But when you become a grown man, those things get played out. You know, when he was a young boy and he was doing his thing, that's one thing. You know, when he was acting like, you know, what's the dude's name from The Wire? When he was Marlo, and he was running game like that, and he was a boy, okay? Most times those cats don't make it to age 30. So he went to jail, came out, and now he's a grown man, and he comes back to the same thing when he was a boy. He wanted to get got. That's what I'm saying, man. He would have been living like a real king in Colombia. He could have went to Colombia. He could have went to Cartagena. He could have went to Medellin. He could have went to Bogota. He'd be living large. Nobody mess with him. He could hire his own crew, and he speaks Spanish too. He could have hired his own crew. There's no reason for him to come back to Harlem. None. Yeah, that was dumb. I don't know. I think he wanted to get got. I think he just felt like he was going to get got. He wanted to get got. Yeah, Alvarado, though, I like Jose Alvarado, but he just signed a 2-year, $9 million contract with New Orleans. He ain't leaving. He's not available. I like Alvarado, but he's not available. What we do have is DeLon Wright and Landry Shamet. They're both available. And I think they'll do a bang-up job for us this year. Yeah, I think Alpo would have lived large. But see, just wasn't meant to be, man. He just wasn't meant to be. Just wasn't meant to be. He came back to the wrong territory, making too much noise. I felt that was crazy. I felt it was really a suicide. I think it was like suicide by gun down. Yeah, maybe it is some from Brooklyn. Maybe it is. You know what? Maybe it is. Maybe that type of life, um, maybe it is. In the movie Paid in Full, Cameron goes, I'll do my 25, and when I come out, I'll still be the king. That sounds like Alpo, right? That sounds like some Alpo Martinez would. That sounds like that same thought process. I'm gonna do my time and I'm still gonna come back and be the king. Still got enemies, bro. There's a lot of dead family members. There's a lot of family members of dead people out there that had no problem plugging you up. Having you get too famous. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He was looking to get plugged up. That cat, I think it was suicidal, honestly. Sad, I think it was suicide. It's a real deal, so you be for real. Karma is for real. Karma is Brooklyn bitch, man. Karma is Brooklyn bitch, man. Shoot, man. Shoot. Uh-uh. He should have laid low. I would have left the country. I would, if they'd allowed me to, I'd have gone to Colombia. I'd have gone to Colombia and had me everything I want. Yeah, so yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I mean, well, why would you come back to Harlem? I don't get it, man. But like I said, I think he was a death wish. I really do. There's no way he could have thought he was going to just live in Harlem and nobody's going to kill him. If it was my son or my little 12-year-old brother that he caused to get killed like that, nah, bro. They won't roll like that. Mm-mm. You wouldn't roll like that. They killed that little 12-year-old boy. Who is that? His uncle? Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Yeah. Yeah, well, he got the spotlight all the way to the casket. He got it. Congratulations. He got the spotlight. I think who is it? I think Dio, somebody said it. That spotlight is addictive, isn't it? Being famous is addictive. It's really a trap. Like if I don't play lotto, but if I did play lotto and I hit for a lot of money, you would not see my face. My lawyer would be there. My lawyer would get the check. My lawyer would take the pictures. You would never see me. You would never see me. Yeah, yeah. So, nah, McCall ain't no snake. McCall is Roadrunner. Is Roadrunner a snake? Yes, it was. It was. It was sad. Sad story, man. Sad story. Yeah. Anyway, he gone now. He gone now. He gone now. He's in the grave now. In the grave. In the grave now. Is what it is. Another brother lived a life and no more. Many brothers. Another brother lived a life and no more. I'm gonna get some Peruvian chicken, Malik. That's my deal today. I'm going protein Peruvian chicken. I'm gonna get the whole chicken dark meat. That's what, in fact, I'm getting ready to do that right now. Getting ready to get my wife some, but I'm getting the whole 4 pieces Peruvian chicken dark meat today. Is it really? I did not know that, Robert Woodward. Is it really? Okay. Nah, he dead, Paris. That's like Michael Jackson ain't dead, Elvis Presley ain't dead, Tupac ain't dead, Biggie ain't dead, Big L is dead. They all dead. I mean, that's what I'm saying. If I hit for big money, you would not see me. You'd be seeing my lawyer, and I'd be sending a team of lawyers, and they better not let me be known. I will not be in front of no camera. Yeah, they all dead. Epstein. Oh, that brother dead. Epstein dead. Alpo dead. They all dead. They ain't coming back. Yeah, he ain't coming back. Did I hear what Theo Pinson said about Tibbs? I did not. And Jay Sniper, you would know me by now. Do what I care about what Theo Pinson said about Tibbs? Would I actually care what Theo Pinson said about Tibbs? Theo Pinson won another NBA contract. I hope he gets one. I hope he gets one. Yeah, he gonna bring his team, Michael Drake. He gonna bring God Shamgar, probably Darryl Armstrong with him. He gonna bring his crew with him. He gonna do that. Every coach does that. He gonna bring his crew with him. He gonna bring his crew with him. Yeah. So that's common. And I don't know what a capacity Rick Brunson is going to be in, but he's going to be around the team. Rick Brunson, at the very least, is going to be the personal coach of Jalen Brunson. I don't think that's going to be any problem. Hey, listen, I am actually jealous of De Niro from Casino. A guy that knew how to pick winners, could look right through you and know you was a con man. I wish I had that ability. I wish I had that ability. He knew exactly. He could look at you. He knew exactly who the con man was. He could see what they was doing. His weakness, though, was that stuff, man. That stuff would get you every time. That stuff got him. His weakness was that stuff, that thing. She had him. Soon as she got out the car, she had him. Soon as she got out the car, she had him. Okay. Yeah, Darryl Armstrong is part of the kids' crew. You're gonna see Darryl Armstrong. You're gonna see God Shamgar. Yeah, that Candy got her. She got out the car. Soon as she got out the car, was making her way to the casino. She had him. She had him already. She had him before she said a word to him. Had him. That was his weakness. Hey, that's a lot of brothers' weakness. You know what I mean? That's a lot of brothers' weakness. That thing has got more people in trouble than a little bit. Yeah, that's right. She kept running back to Lester. That thing has got more people in trouble than a little bit. Many brothers, many strong men have fallen because of that stuff, man. Many strong men have fallen because of that stuff. Yeah. David said, in the hidden part, thou shalt make me to know wisdom. There's power in them words. That's right. Samson was brought low. David himself was brought low. That stuff will get you. It's been doing it for many centuries. It has ruined many a man, broken up many a family. That stuff will get you. So you got to be careful there. Yeah, so we got a backup point guard. His name is Deuce McBride, and I don't want another one. I don't want to hear nothing about no backup point guard. Deuce is my backup. Deuce is my backup. And in case I need another one, I still got DeLon right. I'm good. Deuce and DeLon. I'm good. Oh, yeah, Wayne Peterson. That stuff has brought down many strong men. Dio is crazy. Let me go get my wife some dinner. You mess with your nutty people, man. Y'all are so crazy. Dio crazy, though. I think we're going to get Jason Kidd. If Dallas says yes, Kidd's going to be the coach, man. I'm telling y'all right now. If Dallas says you can interview him, expect the press conference to be within a week. Mm-hmm. Well, why would they say yes? Because they messed up his team by trading Luka Doncic. They gave him Anthony Ambulance. They traded Quentin Grimes. They let Jalen Brunson walk over $55 million. That's why they'd say yes. That's why. Yeah, it is what it is, Walter, right? It's the way the game is played, man. You got to get permission. The guy's in the contract, so you got to get permission. Yeah, see, so I don't know. I think the Mavs are in a tough spot. They can't say no to Jason. He's going to make them an offer. They can't refuse it. And so they're gonna let him talk to the Knicks. And if they do, the Knicks are going to have respect. Like I said, the day you read Dallas gives the Knicks permission to talk, about a week later, expect the press conference. Expect the press conference. Okay, expect that. Here we go. That was my surprise. Cooper Flag with Anthony Ambulance and Kyrie. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, I like Jason Kidd, man. Yeah. So we'll see. But anyway, hey, listen, let me go get this chicken. Y'all enjoy the rest of your weekend. Please be safe out there. We'll talk. We're going to be doing a different series on different players as we go through this week, different key players for the next season. Please be safe. Enjoy what's left of your weekend. We're going out here. Y'all enjoy it. To answer Frank's question, you got to go back to the beginning of this video. In the beginning of this video, we talked about Cassell very early in the video, so you can go back and get the answer there. That's what you're looking for. Thank you, Leon. Lonnie is right. You right, Lonnie. Yeah, I did read that BS article, John Smith. I think that was the Post stupid article, right? You believe what the Post writes? I did read that dumbass article. Anyway, y'all take care of yourself. So.